Hey guys, and welcome back. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and today I thought I would give you an update on my succulent garden. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I've been posting tons of pictures because these things are flowering like mad. So let's take a closer look and I'll tell you a little bit more about my experiences so far. Now, I'm sure you guys can tell right away that a lot of these plants have had some massive growth. And I was actually a little worried because it's been so wet this spring that it was going to be bad for these because they like things on the drier side. However, the mix of soil that I used, which is that coconut coir, chicken grit, and perlite, seems to be draining really well and making these guys not get too wet and rot. So many of them are doing so well, and in fact, a ton of them are flowering, and it's been really fun to sort of see the different flowering strategies that they get. Now this one, those flowers belong to this plant. That's one that a friend in Washington State gave to me, and I'm super stoked that I was able to overwinter it and that it's flowering. We have some yellow flowers here on that stone crop. And then of course the ice plant is flowering like mad. And then I seem to have flowers starting right here on that plant, and all in all things are just looking really amazing. The sempervivums, or the hens and chicks, are growing like mad. I mean, they have just doubled and tripled in size and are throwing out babies everywhere, and I'm pretty stoked because a lot of these variants on these hens and chicks are kind of uncommon, and I hope that next spring I'll be in a position to do trades or to sell some of these in order to increase my collection. I really think that a succulent garden is a very easy garden for anyone who's not that into gardening. It's very rewarding. They're easy to propagate. You just simply break them off and stick them in the soil. There's a lot of different colors and textures, and they just look fantastic. Now, I am having a slight problem here. My chickens keep jumping up there, and while they don't really eat anything, they are just destroying this section of the garden. There's the culprits there. So I'm either going to have to keep them in or put some sort of fencing around this in order to prevent them from causing damage. That's probably the one, look, see? Drinking out of the bog garden, little jerk. But, you know, all things considered, that's a pretty minor problem, and one that I had thought about before I even put this garden in. I mean, chickens do what chickens do. But I just wanted to give you a close-up of some of the really cool textures. I love how these different textures play against each other. And I'm really happy to see that those plants, specifically around those larger rocks in the middle, have really filled in. Eventually, we won't be able to see any of this substrate, and it'll just be this great play on texture and color throughout the entire garden. You can even see here, a piece must have broken off when I was planting, and it's already rooted and propagated. In fact, here's another little tiny hen and chick as well that's doing the same thing. I think that's one of the things that I love most about this kind of garden, is that it's just so easy as long as you provide good soil and sun for these plants. Anyway, I hope you guys like seeing something a little bit different from fish. Look at the colors on this, just beautiful. Anyway, I hope you guys don't mind me sharing some of my interests other than fish with you. I think that these gardens, this one and the bog garden, really help accentuate my greenhouse and tie this whole area together. I really can't wait until I'm fully well to be able to do a whole lot more next year. I have tons of ideas for what to do over in this section, as well as in my outdoor tubs, to really tie these two areas together. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and let me know below if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions.